Hey guys, today's video is sponsored by Amazon. That's right guys, here at Tenek127 Gaming we have our own Amazon storefront now where you can buy all kinds of gaming goods, TVs, monitors, that's right, all kinds of the different items and accessories offered on Amazon.com you guys can purchase directly through me. And anything you guys buy on my Amazon storefront will support me and my YouTube channel directly. So be sure to check out my Amazon storefront at amazon.com/shop/Tenek127gaming. Link will be in the description below. Enjoy today's video, guys. Hello gamers and game mats, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video I want to talk to y'all a little bit about Harvestella. Now, before we get into it, I also want to let y'all know today's video is sponsored by Square Enix. They did hook me up with a early review key for Harvestella and I've been playing it off and on for the past couple weeks since the game has been released. And Harvestella is an interesting case that I do want to talk to you guys about. And believe it or not, this is definitely going to be one of the sleeper hits of 2022. And it's a shame this game didn't come out earlier because, dare would I say, it could even be one very easy contender for possible game of the year. And you know, when you look at its basic art style and everything like that, and being as exclusive to Switch and PC at the current time, you probably find that a little crazy. Now, me personally, I think that this game is just going to start as a Switch and PC exclusive. I definitely can see this expanding to other platforms later on, especially because of how successful this game has been so far. There's been a lot of positive reviews and things out there, and like I said, guys, this is definitely going to be one of the sleeper hits of 2022. Now, Harvestella has advertised itself as a farm sim JRPG hybrid, and a lot of the elements shown of it in the marketing have been a lot of the farm sim stuff. They definitely have shown some dungeons, some combat, some boss fights and things like that, but when you look at how this game's been advertised from a first glance, you would think it's a farm sim first and a JRPG second. I'm here to tell you that is not the case, and you can ask any single person who has reviewed this game so far. It's the exact opposite. It's a JRPG first and a farm simulator second. And we're going to go into detail about that here in a little bit. Now, the gameplay you are seeing in the background is 100% spoiler free. It's actually me just roaming around one of the first dungeons you run into in the game, just collecting some random materials, trying to currently prepare for a boss fight that I'm stuck at. Yes, you heard me right, a boss fight that I'm stuck at. And that's what I'm going to bring you guys to the number one thing I love about this game. It is about time we finally get another RPG that doesn't hold your hand besides Dark Souls. This game's combat, I absolutely love it. It's punishing. It's brutal. This game tells you, hey, guess what? You're stuck here. Screw you. You need to go farm, get yourself materials, food, stuff you can eat, things that can restore your HP and give you energy so that way you can take on this boss fight or you can take on this dungeon. It's not going to give you no offered easy mode or anything like that or give you a pass to where you can do it. And guess what? Every single time you die, it's going to punish you. You're going to be sent right back to your basic home where you start the game at, and the doctor there is going to charge you like a 300 coin fee every single time you die. Trust me. I've lost about $2,000 to this boss so far, and I'm not very happy about it. And I'm admitting that right here in this video. But I honestly love that about this game, and especially a lot of RPGs lately. They hold your hand. You have these real simple, checkpoints. If you're having too much trouble at the boss fight, you can simply tune down the difficulty. This game doesn't do that. It reminds me of the good old classic JRPGs that Square Enix used to make back in the day. Now, Square Enix, they didn't develop this. They're just the publisher. But, them being the publisher, I'm just saying, it reminds me of the good old days of JRPGs and stuff like that, where the games, they really taught you how to deal with the boss. You either had to learn that fight and, deal with it at your level, or you come back later when you're stronger. And that's what this game presents you. There's no way to quick boost or around anything. No. You have to literally learn the mechanics and the combat of the game. Now, the combat is actually the one thing I love about this game and the one thing I do dislike. This game tends to take on a bit of a older JRPG style, which I do appreciate. But also at the same time, I do feel like some of the movement mechanics and everything in this game could have been implemented a lot better. Like, for example, you start the game, you don't even have a proper dodge mechanic. You have to learn it through one of the classes you earn in the game later on, which is fine, not too big of a deal. But even so, you have to work to earn that dodge mechanic, and in the long run, it's really not that great. Another thing, speaking of combat and dodging mechanics and things, another thing I didn't really appreciate either is you can't really customize the control scheme in the game. There's so many different control builds I feel like I could make for this game that would make playing it a lot more comfortable, you know, especially for people who play on the Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, and I can't. It was one thing I actually wanted to do videos on when I first tried to demo this game, and I started enjoying it. I said, I said the first thing I'm going to do when this game comes out is I'm going to build a more comfortable control scheme and put that guide out there for people. And then when I got the full game and realized you couldn't, I was like, whatever. But yeah, other than that, I really don't have too many complaints when it comes to Harvestella. Now, like I said, Harvestella is a JRPG first and a farming simulator second. When you start the game, you're going to be given a little home base inside of this town. I'm not going to spoil too much of the story for y'all and how you get your home and all that stuff. Like I said, we're going to keep this spoiler-free as possible. But this is where, this is basically your little hub of the game. You grow your crops here, so that way you can make food, craft different weapons, upgrade your weapons and gear and stuff like that. It's more so a JRPG with a farming sim that's there, so that way you can prepare for more of your JRPG ventures. Like, it feels like this farm simulator stuff is just there to complement the JRPG side. Like don't get me wrong. It's, the farm simulator parts, they're good, they're legit. You literally have to water your crops, grow them over time and stuff like that. There's days that pass, there's a stamina system and everything in the game. It does take some elements from games like, Animal Crossing and stuff like that. But you can tell that the farming system is a side system to build on the game's JRPG element. Like, for example, you want potions and stuff, you need to go craft them instead of just going to a vendor and buying them. Oh, you want food to give your character more energy? Well, you need to go hunt and kill some monsters, get some meat, take it back and cook it so you can have more energy instead of just buying it from a vendor, and etc, etc, etc. A lot of the vendors in the game, they just sell you materials so you can craft and cook and build the things you need and stuff like that. Even when you go into the dungeons, there's some little repair kits you can build where you can build better paths in the dungeons and things like that. It's really creative how they did it, but in the long run, if you were looking for Harvestella to be more of a RPG or JRPG rather than a farm simulator game, your wish is granted. The farm simulator side just complements the JRPG side. It's there. Don't get me wrong, you have to participate in it to be successful in the game, but it's not as Animal Crossing as some people may have thought, or some of the marketing even would have made the game out to be. Another thing that I do appreciate about the game is its daily system. You do have a limited time of how much you can be out during the day. Your character he or she will slowly fall asleep, towards the nighttime if you don't get them back at home in time. So it does, take those little elements from Animal Crossing and those farm simulator games with that and stuff like that. You do have an energy system in here that you have to abide by. So a dungeon in the game, for example, can take you multiple, not real life days, but in-game days to complete. Doing a dungeon, dealing with a boss, some quest lines can take you a while depending on how long you're out in the world. And, I thought it was, an interesting little mechanic. It does feel like it can be a bit of a hindrance and annoying at first, but once you start learning it, getting used to it, and working your way around it, it's not too bad. Now, the characters and everything, they're pretty cool in here. Unfortunately, there's no voice acting and stuff or anything like that. They do say a few lines when you're in like combat or fighting bosses, but that's about it. And the only other thing that bugs me with the character is the limited character creation in this game. It just feels so pointless. I don't know why they didn't just create one single female protagonist and just leave her like that. Because your male character kind of looks like a female anyway. The female character obviously looks like a female. And the options for the character creator are so limited. It's just like, why did you guys even make one? If I could pick 2 things for them to really fix about this game and expand upon, it would be 1, the character creator, and number 2, just smooth out the combat and the dodging system a little bit. You know, just modernize the combat a little bit. But other than that, I really have no complaints. Harvestella is a sleeper hit. And if you guys are looking for a solid JRPG to play, I would definitely check this one out. But anyway, y'all enjoyed today's video, smash that like button. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.